Welcome to Mic Check Waifu Waifu.
Mic check. Mic check, waifu. Ma, tell him. Is that you?
Back to back.
This is episode 329 of Mic Check Waifu. As always, it's brought to you by Patreon. Patreon.com/Mic Check Waifu is where you can get early access to the video version of this podcast, where you get access to the Patreon exclusive podcast, the after stories, where you can get access to the pre-show, which goes live 2 days before this episode goes live. Shout out to the Patreon producers that keeps the lights on over on Patreon.com/Mic Check Waifu. Explicitly, Ked the Pro from Chaotic Culture Podcast. Fear, Simi Sissay, Frozen, T Money Fingers, Dad Needs to Talk Podcast, Christian the Archivist, All for One Map, Rob Stone, and last but certainly not least, our guy Matthew HHH. Thank you so much for producing this and many episodes of the podcast. We truly couldn't do without you. Thank you so much to everybody that listened on all platforms. Mic Check Waifu is the anime podcast brought to you every Tuesday at 9:30 a.m. Central Time. We also had I don't know if I mentioned this, Tel.
Yeah.
Did I mention that the YouTube Music app is working perfectly fine for podcasting?
I do think you commented on it.
Okay.
But now we know.
Yeah,
that it is working fine.
It's working fine. So if you do listen to podcasts on Google Podcasts back in the day, which is now YouTube Music, you can check us out on YouTube Music. It was just a glitch at one point when it was first switching over. So I don't know, but it's working fine now. So that's good. We appreciate everybody for listening to us. Shout out to everybody also in the Mic Check Waifu community and in our Discord, dropping their Spotify's raps or their YouTube raps or wherever you listen to the podcast and showing that we're either freaking your number one podcast you listen to or your number 3 podcast you listen to, or Crystal being the top 1% or 2% or something like that of our listeners. Like we appreciate all the support you guys giving us. And every time those raps come out, that is honestly my favorite time of the year, because so many people share that we are in the top podcast, and it's people that don't even be a part of the show just sending it to us. And it's super dope to see. It's super dope to see y'all listening and this much.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. I would have thought Crystal would be top 1%.
Yeah, she is. I think that's what it said on Discord. Let me see.
Because I thought it said 2% too, and I'm like, I am very confused on how Crystal's not 1%. Like how she's not number one.
Well,
or many of y'all.
Top 2% of listeners worldwide, though.
That is
insane.
Crazy. We appreciate you and everybody who's listening. If we were number 10 on your most listened, I'd actually be very appreciative, regardless. So
yeah,
thank y'all for giving us your time and letting us do this with y'all.
I do want to say shout out to those. There's like 14 people every week literally in Japan that listen to the podcast. So I don't know if you're if you're overseas in the military and you're listening to us, or you're Japanese and you're listening to us. We appreciate that, but it's every week. It's the same amount.
I only know one person in Japan. I only know one.
It's crazy. It's 14 though. 14 different people. It's crazy. I love it. Anyway, yeah, we're here to bring you some seasonal topics and conversation. Last week we talked about something nice. We're gonna bring that up again, a little bit more, just a few responses. Shout out to Rob Stone. He's gonna be a part of the show as well. One of our producers who touches on his reviews, and I think it's also going to spark a pretty good conversation, because it's about the objectiveness of our review or subjectiveness. And I think that also breed a fun discussion. Also, I finished a few anime this week.
Nice.
Just to clear my list for Crystal specifically. Maybe it was only one anime I finished. Yeah, I almost finished another one, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Anyway, let's start off every episode as we do with episode of the week. Till this week, I know you missed a couple, so I know what would be your episode of the week if it wasn't for the fact that you missed these two. But which one is your episode of the week this week?
As you know, I missed a couple. Thanks for elaborating on that one.
It's all good though.
It's the one that I really want to talk about this week, obviously.
Yeah.
But Dusk Beyond the End of the World. I appreciate what they gave us this episode.
True.
And I think it reveals a lot of information, especially after the doozy that we had last week. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So this was kind of like that soft let down to lead you into what's going to happen in the future.
Essentially the turning point, right? We talk about that all the time with turning point episodes that certain anime have. Like every episode of anime has to have a turning point plot wise. And this was one of them. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later too, because that's going to be a part of spoiler talk as well. I'm not going to choose the ones that you missed for consistency.
Oh, please do, so I know.
No, because I think you've seen this one too, but my gift level, 9,999, that's going to be my episode of the week this week because it was so satisfying.
Yes.
It's so satisfying. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's worth it. The Get Back is unbelievably great and satisfying. I will say these cliffhangers are atrocious.
Hear me out. It's because they know we want it, right?
Yeah.
They know we want that Get Back so bad.
Yeah. I mean, and I only say it's atrocious because we only got 12. Next week is 11. Mm-hmm. So like, it's not, I don't feel like it's enough to satiate my hunger for this Get Back, you know?
Yeah. We got to hope and pray for season 2.
Exactly. All right, Tel, let's get to, before we get to that, sorry. I did finish, was it more than one? I feel like it was more than one. Maybe it just felt like it was one.
Go just look at your profile.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. Okay, no. So the one I did finish, I finally finished Goblin Slayer 2, season 2 of Goblin Slayer. You know, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I still like Goblin Slayer. It's decent. It's a decent show. Very decent though. Not great and not bad, but just a very decent show that I don't know why I could never finish it. I think I was waiting for the dub to be done. That's probably why it fell to the back burner, but it was cool. It was cool.
I kind of feel like that's a better review than what you gave season 1 of Goblin Slayer.
Yeah, because it was. I think it was a better season. More interactive is the wrong word I'm looking for, but it was more involved.
I think they toned down some of the what was it, like the shock value-esque stuff?
Yeah.
And it leaned more into what the anime should have been regardless, right?
Lore and story-wise, yeah. It just gave us more world too.
I actually liked Goblin Slayer, so I think I liked it more than you, but I understood exactly what you meant when you said it was like okay as fuck.
Yeah, exactly. And I did complete another one. It was I Have a Crush at Work.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I finally finished that one because last time the last two episodes just wasn't play on the site that should not be named because it's the only place we could find it. And I brought up a browser in our pre-show, so if you are a Patreon producer or a listener or supporter, go listen to the pre-show to hear that discussion. But I finally watched it there, and it was pretty good, man. It was pretty good. It was slightly annoying, I guess, because of it wasn't even that bad, but it gets weird the way, and I don't mean this in a negative way, 14 Japanese listeners, but the way Japanese culture works when it comes to romance, the way it's handled there and portrayed is it's hard for me to fathom this type of procurement of love, if you will. That show, if you're unfamiliar with I Have a Crush at Work, is all about two adults having.
Yeah, I was gonna say, please refresh me.
Yeah, having a relationship at work, but they're keeping it a secret from everybody. And that's literally the entire thing. It's just them being secretive about their love life. And it's just normal slice of life stuff. They're going through their jobs. You know, one is looking to be promoted. One is looking to be in a different department, et cetera, et cetera. And they trying to keep it a secret. gets weird towards the end because it's like they have the opportunity to tell everybody and they just decide they don't decide not to. It just don't happen. And, and it was very strange the way it was because it was like why is this a big deal? I don't think it would be a big deal. Like, for one, it's not that big of a deal. It's just not. Like, nobody would care that much in the company you work at, but because of their culture and everything, the way they kind of move about in the Japanese realm of romance, it just seems a bigger deal. So it just feels weird the way it's portrayed. And it's like, what are we tiptoeing for?
Yeah, I think the cultural difference is that they're much more relationship
shy.
Like, they're conservative.
Yeah.
On the relationship front in comparison to, like, we're Americans.
Right.
We're filthy.
Yeah, exactly. That's true.
So
I kiss my wife in public in a heartbeat.
You said what?
That's what I kiss my wife in public in a heartbeat. And they're all just like, no, not in front of
they're
people.
like, no, that's too much. That's too much display of affection.
Yeah, sure.
And
I understand. Yeah.
I get it.
That's probably why this wasn't brought over to us, to be fair.
Right. But I do think that it is funny to watch, like you said, how they go about that relationship, because it's like, it would be so much easier to just be upfront.
Yeah.
In that specific anime, because I remember watching, I'm like, yeah, you could just talk.
Yeah.
You just say the thing, and then things would be okay. It might even be easier to move to a different department at that point. Or
exactly.
Like that, because now they're like, well, can't have the couple working together. But, you know.
And they don't even care about that part.
Yeah, but I do think I still kind of enjoyed that one. It was I feel like it was easy to watch when I watched it that season. Yeah,
it was refreshing because of two adults having that relationship. So that's good. I mean, it was good. I did finish that. So that's 2 down. And then I started to work towards finishing The Healer Who Was Banished from His Party Is in Fact the Strongest. Don't ask me why. It was just in my anime list, and I was in episode 7 out of 12, and I'm like, you know what? Let me go. And I watched 2 of them because, to be honest, this season there's just not a lot to watch. Mm-hmm. So I decided to just pick up some stuff, clear out the list a little bit, and I am happy to announce here, this is a perfect segue or a Polo way into this, that maybe now it's tangential right now, so it could change, but we might do winter preview next week. We might not. And the reason why we say that is because a lot of stuff, we took a peek, and we said this in a pre-show, so sorry for repeating again, but we took a peek at the winter anime, and there's a lot of stuff coming out, but there's not a lot of stuff with dates, and some of those dates are like a month and a half out. So like, we're not sure if we're ready to do that this early, even though some stuff is coming to an end in a couple of weeks for this season. So tangentially, we are going to have the winter preview episode next week. So you can still post your previews in this episode, which is 329. This episode, show form in our Discord, discord.mycheckwifewaifu.com. Join it if you haven't already. But still, please post your winter preview, your sleeper pick, which is one show that you know nothing about that looks interesting when you look at it, and your most anticipated shows, which is however many shows you anticipate or you're looking forward to in the winter. So post that. Feel free to post that in this, and we'll just stack them up if we decide to do it or not in the coming weeks. So.
And if you're in the Discord, you'll be a little bit more up to date or in the loop on if we actually end up doing it in the next episode or the following one after that. Just makes things easier if you're in the Discord, so we can communicate that. Absolutely. And that's the best way to get in touch with both of us too. So if you want to reach out to us, ask a question for the show, or just chat it up about anime, we feel free to join our Discord, and we don't mind chatting there. All right. So let's get into let's start off with Rob Stone's comment from last week about the because 2 weeks ago we did a review, and he explained his ratings a little bit. He says, my ratings are never trying to be objective. As I said before, I don't mind watching a slideshow, Raylenia at the Duke's Mansion, for example, if the characters and the plot are strong enough. Otherwise, if I tried to rate according to music, action, animation, etc., a lot of my favorite shows would suffer. Older shows, especially where the pacing or animation is not comparable to modern shows, would have to be rated lower, despite my score on Analyst reflecting how I personally felt whilst I watched them. That said, I generally ignore other people's ratings. A review is worthless if
if your view doesn't dovetail the reviewer, so mass scores are never as helpful as a recommendation from a source you trust.
Mm-hmm.
So that's an interesting way of looking at it, because when we were discussing reviews, we were discussing midterms, specifically TK. Shout out to TK Does Nothing. TK's method of his midterms, and his midterms are just his reviews of the show. Like, he puts a legitimate score into his shows when he grades them. And when I look at what Rob Stone said for this and put that into perspective of just personal thoughts of a person, how they feel about that particular show, I see it a whole lot different now. Because I was like flabbergasted at some of the scores that TK Does Nothing gave, Oh. And when you put it in that perspective, Rob Stone said, I understand. But in the opposite aspect, right? Because his is like more like personally, he didn't enjoy the story, or he didn't enjoy the characters, or he didn't enjoy the anything else opposed to the art style or the animation or whatever.
Yeah, and I think that our review scale is different for a reason, and I think that it's important what Rob Stone said, right?
Yeah,
because if I'm giving a recommendation, I'm recommending off of impact.
Right.
If I'm telling you how overall the quality of something, I'm rating off quality. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like our review scale is a quality over
bar.
impact.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Impact. Some of the anime that we rated, 10 out of 10, while I think are genuinely amazing, they might not be the most impactful anime for me. You know what I mean? So it would be hard for me to say, oh, I'm guaranteed going to recommend something like this to somebody. Like, imagine me telling somebody their first anime, they never watched anime before. I'm going to say, yeah, watch Oshinoko. And it's like, I mean, they might love it. They might 100% love it.
It's actually,
or they might watch it and be like, you know what? I was expecting something entirely different because I've seen Dragon Ball, clips 1,000 times. So I figured that's what I would be getting into. So I feel like if I'm talking about impact, where Oshinoko to me has a great impact, but is also extremely high quality.
Yeah.
Some of these anime, they fare differently depending on how you want to. How you would want to recommend them.
The perfect example. Sorry. I didn't know you were not done. My bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
I was going to say the perfect example of this is like how highly we think of, One Piece, Bleach, or Naruto, but we would never give a perfect 10 on our review scale. I don't even think any one of those are anywhere close to anything. Maybe a 7, like maybe a 7, 7.5, 8 in some respects, but not on our review scale. But could we personally say we love them? Absolutely. Like, I could absolutely tell you I love all three of those from the bottom of my heart to the top of my soul. Same thing with like any of our favorite shows of all time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know we rated Clannad, but I still feel like the review of Clannad is probably the closest thing that I have to both accurate in score and accurate on impact for my personal belief. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the closest thing. But other than that, some of my review ratings are completely different than what I would feel personally about a show. Yeah, a lot of the time.
And you think about, like you said, favorite shows. I always say one of my absolute favorite shows, one of my shows that I sometimes I'll turn it on just as like a comfort thing, but like Full Metal Alchemist. I love that show. Yeah, I'm not going to rate it a perfect score.
Yeah.
But I do think that if I was recommending something to somebody, what do you need? Something that's going to impact you, that's going to give you a decent enough story that'll get you drawn into anime. Full Metal Alchemist is a great way to go.
Absolutely.
Extremely simple to digest. Plot is relatively linear and it's going to get you there. You know what I mean? Like, it's not something that like, and while I think 86, in my opinion, could be a great first anime as well.
Yeah.
I do think that it could be jarring if you're not tuned in immediately. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Whereas Full Metal Alchemist, you don't have to necessarily be tuned in. You can just hear some of the things and you can follow along relatively well. So I think that some things just they are easier to recommend in terms of impact. And plus there's enough buzz around anime like Full Metal Alchemist to where you immediately become relatable. And relatability is another piece when it comes to, recommendations and whatnot. You give something that's a recommendation, it's relatable because 1.5 million people have watched it. Everybody and their mother who watches anime has probably seen something about Full Metal Alchemist or knows something about Full Metal Alchemist or Dragon Ball or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Something about Naruto. It immediately gives you a sense of community, which once again, like I said, impact. Impact being so important in anime, that is something that is extremely relevant. But like I said, Polo and I, we are very, I'm not going to necessarily say just diverse, but we step outside of the normal bounds that people will watch anime in. So sometimes we're going to recommend things that no one is necessarily watching or they may have never even heard of.
And that's entirely the goal of the show, right? Like,
right.
The goal of this podcast is to you listen to us, right? And then you hear what our taste is. Both of our tastes being different or some mostly similar, but different in some aspects as well. And then we recommend shows that we like seasonally based off of our taste. And if you like that, you like that. If you don't, you don't. But I say all that to say, like, it's based off of, what Rob Stone said when it comes to finding a source you trust, right?
Right.
That's a part of it. Like if you like our taste, if you prefer my taste over Tell's taste or Tell's taste over my taste, you could then choose, like, based off of what we say, on if you would like a show or not. So
yeah, and we might recommend something like Parallel World Pharmacy.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, who do you know that's going to recommend Parallel World Pharmacy other than us?
Actually, really good show, by the way. All right. To speak to last week's show, because last week's show, it was more so talking about why we review and then why we feel our tastes the way they are. We had a comment from our guy, Baser Altor. He's been in the community for a long time now. He says, now I hope this was a slip of the tongue, but early in the episode, you were putting together a show with One Piece world building, a Naruto power system, and Bleach plot. What plot? Bleach has argued, this is all a quote, by the way. Bleach has arguably one of the most non-existent plots in anime. Now, I enjoy the show, but what is the plot? The through line? There really is not one, which is, I had to laugh. I laughed out loud when I saw that. For one, I don't know. I don't remember because it was a throwaway line from either me or Tell. Like either one of us could have said it and we both would have been right in saying it. So spoiler alert for what we were about to say to this comment. But let me just make one thing clear. Okay. This is not I don't never want to talk about a mainstream, atypical, be usual anime like Bleach, in this particular kind of debate, because I think it's silly, but I will. And let me just remind you guys what a plot is. Okay. Key elements of plot: exposition / introduction, introduces characters, setting, and background, often with an initiating event that sets the story in motion. Does Bleach have that, Till?
It definitely does.
Okay. Inciting incident, the specific event that kicks off the main conflict and gets the story going. Does Bleach have that?
It definitely does.
All right. Rising action, a series of events where the central conflicts build tension, obstacles arise, and the character tries to achieve their goal. Does Bleach have that?
It definitely does.
All right. Climax, the turning point and moment of the highest tension where the main conflict comes to a head. Bleach, check. Falling action, events immediately following the climax where loose ends starts to be tied up. Does Bleach do that?
Yes.
Resolution, the conclusion where the main conflict is resolved and the story ends. 1,000-Year Blood Work is right where we are because it has that. Bleach has a plot. Non-existent plot is the most asinine thing I've ever heard about Bleach in my entire life. Now, is it a simple plot? Absolutely not. It's never been a simple plot in Bleach. And I think that's where we get misconstrued with what a plot is. With like One Piece, to find the One Piece, Naruto to become Hokage. Like, it's just, those are simple plots. This is a more, Bleach has a all the stuff that I mentioned, the key elements to a plot. Bleach has all of those things. It always has all of those things. So non-existent plot is crazy. Remember what a plot is, and then determine on if your favorite show has that. I do think Bleach has probably, I would say, the most complex plot out of the big three. The plot is definitely there. Because who else is more complex than that?
That's not to take away from like the idea of subplots, but that's going too deep. That's going too deep to talk about subplots. But like the overall idea, right, of One Piece: become a pirate, gain Luffy's nakama or family and friends, become good enough to become the best pirates and collect One Piece, right?
Become good enough to become good enough is Naruto.
Become good enough to become Hokage. Same concept, so to speak, of One Piece. But Bleach, it does have that plot that is branching.
Oh my goodness!
It has the self-understanding. It has the development, which all of them have. They all have a plot development, but mind you, One Piece gave us a 2-year break in time skip in order to like get some of that development, whereas we saw a lot of that directly in Bleach. And that's not. I know. I'm probably going to hear something about One Piece. I'm ready for it. I've read more One Piece than probably a lot of people, but I'm ready for it. There is a lot of skipping over some of the development in shows like One Piece, or the development happens amidst battle or something like that.
Yeah, of course, which is normal for these type of shows.
But Ichigo in Bleach, or not even just Ichigo, other characters, there are moments of development where this character is literally training in your face.
Yeah.
They're literally being developed in your face. Ichigo literally had to go into a pit and borderline die. You feel me?
Yeah.
To get to where he is now in 1,000-Year Bloodwood arc. That's a part of the plot. And progressing to be able to even face your watch and watch how things happen amidst the climax of what happened towards the end of that season. To get to where we are, where we're currently awaiting what happens next, right?
Yeah.
So I would have to argue Bleach has plot.
Oh yeah.
And
so
to say that it doesn't is to almost say and negate the idea that shows like Naruto have plot, shows like Dragon Ball have plot, shows like One Piece have a plot. Because those all shows have plots, whether they're good or not, or well developed, or well maintained, or even enticing enough for you to even pay attention to the plot, or just pay attention to the action of those shows.
Yeah,
Bleach has a plot, and it's been all encompassing in almost everything that it does in comparison to some of those shows. So it's crazy, in my opinion, to even say that Bleach doesn't have one.
So let's take what he said as he didn't mean it like it doesn't have one, because of course everything has plot, right? Let's go into specifics if you will, because maybe he's saying I don't know how to define plot other than what I just read for you and gave you, but to just give you an example of one, the Soul Society, the sneak entry arc. Does that have exposition, introduces character settings, background, often initiating the event and the story and set the story in motion? Yeah. Yeah. Like you can literally look inside of the sneak entry arc in itself and then all of the exposition and introduction that it has when it comes to, the captains and the Soul Society and why the Soul Society exists and blah, 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 blah. Okay. Inciting incident. Okay. The specific event that kicks off the main conflict. Why do they sneak into the Soul Society in the first place? And you don't have to answer that, though. We know you know. And this is mostly for not just Mazer, but for everybody that believes that Bleach plot is non-existent. Let's answer that question right now. If you remember, why did they have to sneak into the Soul Society? That's your plot. Raising action, a series of events where the central conflict builds tension, obstacles arise, and the characters tries to achieve their goal. All of that. I mean, fucking, oh my God, why can't I remember his name? And he's a fucking demon. That's all I got to say. He's a demon. That piece alone in that sneak entry arc still gives me chills to this day. Kampachi. There it is. It popped into my head when I was thinking of the demon himself.
Yeah, the demon himself.
That alone right there. The climax, the turning point to the highest tension to where the main conflict comes to an head. Like it's just, it has the sneak entry arc for the Soul Society has all of that. And that's only episode 21 to 41. Okay. Like we can go deeper. We can go to the Arrancar rival arc. We can go to the Arrancar downfall arc. We can go for even the side shit. Like the Zanpakuto Unknown Tales that we watched in our long form Bleach rewatch that we did some years ago on this podcast. Even still, you can go back and listen to those episodes to determine the plot and how excited we were to discuss that every week. Bleach talk is a thing on this podcast for a reason.
It is a thing here. We talk about Bleach.
Yeah, it's because it's crazy. It's crazy. So to say Bleach has a non-existent plot, and whichever one of us, Tell or me, who said that throwaway line, which is just a throwaway line, which is just to give you an example that, to give you an example of what we feel like about anime or why we grade anime the way we do. I say all that to say that to say Bleach has a non-existent plot is crazy. That blew my mind, especially coming from Mazer Alter, because I think he would know, right? Like him of all people would have known better than anything that Bleach don't.
You've been here with us for quite a few episodes.
Yeah,
I feel like you may have caught some of our Bleach content and discussions.
He might have came right after. He might have came shortly after,
and that is a possibility.
Yeah.
But when the next part of Bleach comes out, I hope that you rewatch and follow along with us so we can talk about the plot of Bleach and
Bleach talk.
Yeah,
we got the song for it and everything. We got it.
I'm telling you,
we got Bleach talk is huge here because that plot be going crazy.
Indeed.
All right, let's dive into some more things here.
All right. So I want to talk about something specific really quick, brother. And just bear in mind with me, you don't have to go too deep.
Okay.
You can just chill for a little bit, but I just kind of want to talk about this.
I love it.
My sleeper, this monster wants to eat me.
Okay, yes. My lips is dry. Sorry, y'all, for watching the video version. I'm just putting Vaseline on them.
Nah, you a black man. Stay moisturized.
If they look shiny, that's why. Sorry.
This monster wants to eat me.
Uh-huh.
So hear me out when I say this.
Yeah, please.
I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that I'm pleasantly shocked. But I do think that this is a better direction, and I almost wish that this had been done sooner. Only because I feel like we built up so much anticipation for kind of like how this show was, or what we were getting from this show, to get to episode 10, where we get this communication, so to speak, where it is somewhat deceitful. And I actually, it sucks because I feel like I'm contradicting myself, because I feel like I like the fact that this deceit, so to speak, happens, right? Because it shifts the story. We talk about turning points. It is a shift in how the story is going to be explained or demonstrated. But I almost feel like this part of the story is so much better than everything we received earlier.
Yeah.
Everything we received earlier. Like, we were getting breadcrumbs, bro, and not even bread. Like, we were getting the scraps of a meal. Like, we were in famine. And now we're actually getting some somewhat interesting and cool details, world building and lore, so to speak, of what, and even like when it comes to the idea of thinking about what happened, and now we're getting more clarity on what happened to her family. It just feels as if, man, bro, the levels that this could have been or could have had the detail been this from the beginning, or episode 3 or 4. You know what I mean? Like this anime, and this we talk about respecting your time. This anime would have respected your time had we had a little bit more of what we got in the beginning, and then by episode 3 or 4, when, you know, most people do episode 3 or three episode rule. Yeah. If you give us by episode 3 the idea of what we're kind of getting now, and then develop that further and how we get into the end of the season, I almost feel like this would be a significantly better anime. Yeah. Now, I don't know how far along with me you are in that, right? Because it could have been like a Love Flops thing where like episode 7, it could have done the same thing. And it's still, I still think it would be significantly better than introducing that at episode 10, because now we're at the end.
So, one thing, this show has surprised me throughout, because it's closer to what Crystal said, while it being still hints of Yuri there, it's not prominent, which I love, right? I like the fact that that's not there. Because I'm just not a fan of Yuri. I never have been. Now, I just bring that, put that aside. I think I've been enjoying this more than you. However, I do agree with you wholeheartedly. I think this show would have benefited from got the Tokapi treatment if it was 6 episodes. If it was 6 episodes and we got one, whichever episode it was where we found out about her friend Miku, that, and then the summer camp on forward. If it was just those one, let's just, for lack of, because I don't know the exact episodes, but just hear me out. This is my example. If we had episode 1, and then we had episode 6, and then we had episode 8, 9, and 10, and then the rest is 11, 12. Like the rest would be the total of 6 episode series. If that would have been a series, it would have been so much better, because the meat from 2 to, let's say 6 episodes, 2 to 6, useless. Completely fucking useless. I think was the biggest drag and waste of time ever. However, I did like, watching them mingle a bit and learn a little bit more slowly. It was too slow. It was just too dragging. It just made me being impatient. But I think right now where we are, absolutely fucking cooking with the plot aspect of it.
And the reason why I'll say it's too slow, it's not because like, what it is it's far too somber. Yeah. For it to be this stretched out. You know what I mean? Yeah. When you do an anime that is this sad, this like you said, like I'm saying, somber. Yeah. You kind of either gotta spread it out, like you gotta like compact it so that you don't have to deal with this for 13 or 12 episodes. You know what I mean? Yeah. Can I interrupt you for just 1 second? Go ahead, brother.
Hold what you're saying, or keep that or in your head. Because I just got to keep this while it's in my head fresh. And sorry, this is more for Respect Gaming, but I'm going to bring it here. I've been playing a game called Octopath Traveler 0, okay, which is the newest Octopath Traveler game. And I put about 30 hours into it already. That's kind of sad. But I say that to say that it's so fucking somber that it was so heavy that it got to the point where I didn't want to play it anymore. Because it was that somber. And that is exactly where we are here with this particular show. That 2 through 6 was so somber that I'm like, I'm so tired. I'm just exhausted. But now that we're getting more of that, the backstory, the reasonings why, and etc., I'm more intrigued because of where we are going now from that somberness. Now, to get back to your or.
But exactly that. Or you kind of give us. This is the kind of show that suffers from lack of detail. Lack of detail.
Because it's trying to be too mysterious.
Yes. Yeah. And our character, our mermaid character, has thrived ever since they started adding detail to her.
Everything makes a whole lot of sense.
The Miku character has thrived when you added detail to her. those two characters for 2 episodes when they started adding detail were the most dynamic characters in the show.
Yeah.
Because our girl who was sad, the only thing she had was what happened in her life. And then these 2 characters who are surrounding her.
Right.
Now we're getting detail from said characters, adding detail to her life. And now the show is just becoming more dynamic.
Yeah.
And the show, and I hate this, it sucked because they didn't do that earlier.
Yeah.
They didn't do that earlier. And I'm not saying I don't like the show. It's just, dang, man, I wish it had done this sooner.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. I was watching today's episode, or this most recent episode, and I'm just like,
it was good.
This is where y'all started to cook?
Yeah, that explanation was good. The reasonings why was good. The whole
the conflict.
Yeah.
I want to, but I can't because I don't want to lose this shine. That was kind of like a bar to me. I'm like, yeah, I feel you.
And then so what I can say to give them credit, okay, to play slightly devil's advocate, because I agree with everything you've been saying so far, is I do like the fact that we got this now, because what we also got to remember is they brought in the fact of how yokai operate in the first place. At that very beginning, those through to 6 episodes, we got how yokai work it. They're deceitful, they're liars, they use magic to manipulate humans, etc., etc. So we got that early on, very, very early on, but then it was useless. I mean, like, they no use to that. And now it's being used now, which I feel like is a little, the delay is kind of, you feel that delay in which that makes this part that we're in now more effective because of that delayed information dump at the very beginning, right? Because if they did it right before they gave this information, it wouldn't hit as hard, I think, personally. Like that yokai are deceitful, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. If they gave that at episode 9 and we on episode 10 or whatever, you know what I'm trying to say? If they gave that at like right before that, then it'd feel like, oh, that's just weird, you know? Like you just kind of like shoved that in my face right before you reveal the fact that you've been lying this whole time. Like it's just, that's kind of tacky. But because they did the slow build up and very naturally, now we now know exactly why she's so nonchalant when it comes to just living as a human, or not caring, seemingly not caring, even though she's starting to realize that maybe she do care. And it's just, she's developing feelings of humanity as this is going on, while not understanding the fact that she is developing humans of humanity, like feelings of humanity, not humans of humanity, feelings of humanity. So I do like the show, but it would have been better if it was shorter.
I do want to say this. Quick spoiler, just slight spoiler. Skip 10 seconds from right now when I say this. It is wild to think that the human has devoured the mermaid at some point. Like that does play a part in the show. That's why we are where we are currently in the show. And I think that is actually interesting, and it creates a weird dynamic, so to speak.
If you've done fast forwarding for 10 more seconds. It's not necessarily a devourer. It's just the drop of blood. So, lack of a better term, I guess.
That's why I said so to speak. But you're right. You're right. It's like it changes almost like the dynamic of the show a little bit.
And I kind of like that.
Only for that metaphor.
And I kind of like that rule they got, right? Where if the yokai mixes the blood, then they find you absolutely vile.
Yeah, disgusting.
Yeah, that's kind of neat.
But the wish that was applied to that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And that's why we are where we are.
And
you know what I mean?
Why that was the turning point.
And that's what made it so good, though. I was
exactly.
Oh, so like this is really what it is.
Yep.
Because I'm thinking the whole time, like she got something to do with this accident.
Yep.
This has happened, but it wasn't necessarily that. She had something to do with.
That was my thoughts too.
Oh my God. I was like, yo, y'all cooking now. Y'all cooking. This is like propane and propane accessories.
That was my thoughts too, bro. That was my thoughts too. It's too good. It's too good. It's real good.
That's crazy.
All right, so let's slide to my sleeper then.
Okay.
I'm motherfucking tired of this shit. Excuse my language.
Why? I like your sleeper.
It's no, I like it fine, but I'm just tired, bro. It's just circle jerking a lot, and I gotta say, it's no different than a lot of other slice of life that existed in the past. Like, you ever seen your not? Well, I don't know why I was about to say your name.
Yeah, that's not it.
Was it Say I Love You? No, not Say I Love You either. Say I Love You also kind of circle jerking a little bit, but it was more direct than this is. What the hell is it called?
It's the one we watched on Netflix. Was it Blue
Yes.
Box?
No. Well,
but Blue Box.
That's a good one.
Better.
That's a good one, but they did do it better. This, what Crystal know what I'm thinking of. It's the show that we both like. It was on Netflix. They released. It's an older show. They released a new episode. She know what I'm talking about. But it's
Crystal,
like,
please comment for us.
It's like that one where it's very like we just go in circles, bro. We're like miscommunicating, and they like each other, but they can't tell each other. They don't want to tell each other. It's like it's just so clusterfucky, if you will.
This most recent episode did piss me off more than the others.
Yeah.
And I say specifically because of what he said. Like, come on, man.
Because if you think about it, if we go back to that episode where he was saying, she's just a star so brighter than the sun. Why would you say that? Okay, why would you say that about the girl you like, directed at the girl you like, talking about another girl, insinuating that you're talking about another girl? I don't blame her. It's his fucking fault. This entire thing is happening. So that's what pisses me off so bad about this show. Sorry, slight spoilers for this, but it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable the way they move with this one, because it's like, if he didn't do that at that particular time, she would have been made her move, probably.
Right.
But because he's like, oh, but she's just so this, she's so that, talking about her to her face when you're clearly talking about her to her face. She doesn't know that, obviously, because you're talking about another girl in the perspective of another girl. So she don't know.
Yeah, I feel like anybody would have been misdirected by what he did.
Yeah, he fucked
anybody.
up.
It don't even matter if you was a girl listening to a guy. You could have been a guy listening to a guy that you like, or a girl listening to a girl you like, or a girl listening to a guy. Anybody would have been misdirected by that, because that was horrible.
Yeah, oh well shit, he got somebody already. He liked somebody already.
Yeah, bro, that was garbage. What are you doing here?
Broke her heart. And then now she's like, oh well fuck, I'ma still try to do it anyway. With respect to her, but she can't. Obviously it's real awkward for her because she feels like she'll be either stepping in the way or whatever have you. But it's just that one little piece pisses me off so much that it just ruins the entire show, because now we're just going to be circle jerking around.
Yeah, and that's the thing. This show is definitely a circle jerk. They are playing with us.
Yeah,
they are playing with us
going in fucking circles,
filthy way.
But it's not a bad show. The characters are good.
They are. And here's the thing, though. Hear me out, bro. When I say this, they cute. Man, they cute.
Yeah, absolutely.
They do their thing.
Super likable.
I am rooting for them, in the sense of, like, I hope that they can kindle this relationship from this long-term friendship that they've had. Mm-hmm. But brother, oh my God, y'all are going the most roundabout way possible.
Yeah, indeed.
When either one of y'all could just be like, look.
Let's do this.
I likes you and I want you.
Exactly.
We can do this the easy way or the hard way. The choice is yours.
Right.
And they doing it the hard way.
Mm-hmm.
They doing it the hard way.
The very hard way. I also want to mention, before we go into spoiler talk with Dusk Beyond the End of the War, or get to know my check wife fool, then go into spoiler talk, is that I still have been watching Watari Kun's Blank is about to collapse. I want to say the show is absolutely good. A lot of intrigue, a lot of it's messy. It's very messy, but it's not as messy as something like Scum's Wish or something like that. It's messy though, and me and All For One Matt, one of our Patreon producers, were talking about it in the Discord form of it. It's good. So if you fell off, you stopped watching it, watch the show. It's actually really, really good. The topic of conversation is very interesting because it does have situations where it's like, what else could you do here, or what should you do here, or is he making the right choice, or did he make the wrong choice, or it's a lot of middle to high school stuff that actually makes sense for once, I think personally. And relationships are formed and relationships are broken up, and really it's a lot going on, and it's good. It's so funny because reading the synopsis, you would think it's about his little sister. His little sister basically disappeared less than halfway through the show. So it's a great show, though. It's a really, really, really good show. So I just wanted to put that out there in the verse. Let's get to know Mic Check Waifu. This is part of the podcast where one of us rolls a random generator, the other reads a question associated with that number. Tell Turner to roll the number, and my turn to read the question.
The number that I have is 59, which I think that might.
Roll again.
53.
Roll again.
36.
Roll again.
94.
Roll again. Everything in between.
33.
33. Roll again. Yep, I remember doing 33.
I know. 18.
Let's go. 18. Have you ever cosplay as an anime character? And if so, who? Or would you if you haven't? And if so, who?
Have you ever cosplayed? Have you ever cosplayed, brother?
No, I have not. And I will not.
I have thought about doing cosplay before. I'm not 100% sure on who I would do. The cosplay character I wanted to do was like Goku Black.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think I want to do that.
The closest thing I'm getting to cosplay is I'm dressing like I'm a cosplay as Lloyd Forger from Spy Family.
I can see you doing that.
That's the closest I'm gonna ever get.
What's the name? The Talker anime? I can see you doing that.
Talker anime.
The one where he was a talker and he had the guns and he was like,
nope.
I can see that's a very Polo style.
Way too anime for me. Because
he had the jacket on. The jacket seemed like very Polo fresh.
I am not. That's not my style.
I have I don't currently have it in my possession, but I bought it. My dad has my Zanpakuto that I bought from Ichigo. Yeah. My dad has it, and I've had it since I was like 18. So this like as soon as I turned 18, it was like the first thing I bought off a website. It's like I'm gonna buy a sword. Yeah. So I do have a real size steel Ichigo Zanpakuto, hollow Zanpakuto. And we got pictures somewhere of us all holding it at one point. Yeah. Somewhere around there. But that's the closest I would get. Other than possibly doing something. I don't know. I at this point, I'm not gonna say I'm too old because I don't think I'm too old. I'm too. I'm not interested enough. I need a character that I 100% just like. I want to do that character, and there ain't nothing I want to do. Yeah, the most I do is I'll rock a anime inspired shirt like this Idris shirt from. Let's see the back. Let me see what that back look like. Let's see if I can get you the back. Okay. Idris blade on it. Oh, sorry. There you go. There you go. That's it. I'm gonna rock the merch. Shout out to this is from Annie News. Oh yeah. Yeah, he be dropping some heat. Every time he drops something, I get it. I got his jobless one too with the eyes that says Goddess of War, and it has what's her name eyes? Redhead chick eyes. And then the Goddess of Love has the elf one, and then Goddess of Magic or something. Water. Yeah. But I digress. Yeah, I'm not a cosplayer. It's just not for me. I'll leave that to everybody else with talent. You think he'll drop a Dusk Beyond the End of the World one? No, but that'll be fire. Yeah, he ain't even talked about it, has he? No, he ain't even touched that one. I don't think he had. I think
Mostly he does like Overlord stuff and
some
ReZero stuff. Yeah. Oh God.
And he does some reincarnated as a slime.
Yep. Good stuff. Okay. Let's talk spoilers for Dusk Beyond the End of the World. Let's go back to one of our producers, Rob Stone, who said, spoilers for Dusk Beyond the End of the World. So I'm way behind on watching the show, like 5 episodes or so, but did you really not see it coming that he was an android? That was my assumption, that the second he woke up, and I'm not even joking, he woke up after being shot fatally after the first episode. And mind you, he's 5 episodes behind, so he doesn't know exactly
what happened. Yeah.
Exactly. After the first episode, having talked about the androids and effectively cheating life. So I assumed that he was an android, just like the ones made in his fiance's image. I assume, given the rest of the place he woke up in, was in ruins, no human would have still been alive in that situation, even on life support. And as you say, it fits the theme of the show perfectly. Now, I do want to say this, Rob Stone. There is, and I'm not saying that what you're saying is you're wrong. If you thought that, I guess I call you a genius, because there's no indication that he was an android from the jump. He wasn't fatally shot. That's just one thing. He was shot, but he wasn't fatally shot. They showed that to be kind of clear. And the technology that they had at that time that we were watching, like from the past when he was with his soon-to-be fiance at the time, indicated that he could have been in some cryo tube or whatever. Like that didn't seem too crazy or far-fetched whatsoever with the technology that they were using in that world at that time. So, and you are behind 5 episodes. So when you catch up, spoilers, this is spoilers for you. So you should probably not listen to this part right here. He did survive. The real him did survive. And he did get older with Tosa, and they lived essentially a full life together.
12 more years together.
Yeah, 12 more years together. So impossible to know. It's for us watching that he was an android. Now,
and I will say, when I said that I kind of predicted that he was an android, I'm not saying that in the idea of like, I'm not trying to say like I'm a genius and nothing like that. I'm saying that the thought crossed my mind. I'm like,
but at that moment it did.
What if he is like an android? What if he is an android or something in between that is creating this like idea? You know what I mean? I'm not saying that I knew off rip, like, oh, sure, yeah, he's definitely an android. I'm going to call it right now and say, I'm thinking in my head at that time, like, what if he's an android? Like, this is something that I could see very realistically happening.
Like a throwaway thought.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that I think I'm not saying that it's impossible that he thought that, you thought this, because I definitely could see why you would think that he was an android.
Yeah.
But I think with further context, right, if they had gone the route where they said that he was not an android, right? Let's say we had gone the show and we did not find out he was an android, like he was really just a human.
Yeah.
It's still completely plausible.
100% plausible. Yeah.
It doesn't take away the idea of what this show currently is.
And what happened,
It just changes, it dials it back a little bit. But the fact that he is an android kind of leans more into something more that we're getting in this show currently in this most recent episode.
Yeah. Now, to go back, this is still big spoilers for the show, but let's talk about the fact that what I loved about this particular episode and just the show in general is that they're not afraid to show this technology that she was so proud in developing and kind of brute forcing her way to create, ruin the world. She literally ruined the world. She's unintentionally the villain of this entire thing, because you destroyed the world with this technology that you were so adamant on building. And even though that guy in the beginning who attempted to kill you, he created this monster essentially because she was unable to have kids and she really wanted to have kids, and it caused her to be obsessive over it, to then cause her to develop this particular item that then caused the world to go into complete fucking shambles because of it. I just think it's brilliant. I just think it's an absolute brilliant plot and absolute brilliant storytelling when it comes to this particular show. Let's Be Honest, in the World to me is special for this particular reason because this is so unique.
I love the writing and storytelling of this show.
Yeah.
100%. I agree with you on that. I do have to say this though. And damn, I feel like this makes me sound like a conservative when I say it. I don't agree that she destroyed the world.
No, she definitely did. 100% her fault.
Well, and I'm okay. I'm okay with the debate here. It's like saying, and it's completely reasonable to say she destroyed the world, right? Mm-hmm. Like, but you think about like Asian people created fireworks, gunpowder. European people got gunpowder. They started attacking people with it, making guns, right? Asian people didn't destroy the world.
No. That's not. You can't. That's not even close to the same comparison.
And when I say this, just hear me out. When I say this, right? She created AI that was dangerous. Then you talk about being manipulated, right? No.
She created a computer system that is embedded into your cells that cannot be removed, that can be manipulated, that can be hacked, and etc. But then she also. She not only did that, but she also created the androids that can destroy the world. Right. And I'm not disagreeing with that. Sorry. But what I'm talking about is that the person who actually did the bad wasn't her. She just facilitated the system. She didn't do the bad. She didn't start taking over people's bodies. She didn't start harming people directly herself. That was never her intention or goal. It was other people who did it. There were guys who were saying we can't let this information get out because if it does, then people are going to start using this back door to do things. It's the same as saying like it's Oppenheimer, bro. It's Oppenheimer. Like fentanyl was created to help people, and then you take too much of it and you die. It's more closer. It's to help people. It's more closer to Oppenheimer than the fentanyl one because again, Oppenheimer created a bomb of destruction. She created something that essentially, and I'm not referencing the cells. I'm referencing. I would say because this is all made to help humanity. Yeah, I'm talking about the AI she created. Yeah. That then decided that hey, in order to get rid of these cells that you created, that you fucked up with creating, according to the AI, but this I'm still referring to the AI. I'm not referring to the cell thing. I'm strictly referring to the AI she created that destroyed humanity. She created AI, and only answer to the other things she created was to destroy it all. So she created the thing that destroyed the world. So that other AI, that you know what? That's a fact. You're right. Because I was thinking about the cell thing. The cell thing is fine. I'm thinking about the cell and the manipulation of the cells and stuff like that. I was like, that's not her fault. Like. That's a loaded gun. That's exactly right. She made a gun and people was like, yeah, let me fire it. That part is right. I'm like, that's not her fault. That part is right. Yeah. Because that was made to help people. But the AI, she was like, hey, so let's help humanity. And they're like, okay, I got you. I'm gonna help humanity. I'm gonna wipe them all out. Because the only way, to get rid of something like this is to wipe them out. Mind you, we're in a world where AI is starting to take over. Yep. At one point, and hear me out. She didn't say AI; she said AP. Okay. Because it is a practical developing mind in artificial intelligence. It's not just the artificial intelligence. The artificial intelligence can't go that far. Exactly. But the AP can. Yeah. 100%. And that is what people are in fear of, which granted, rightfully so. If humans are the issue that we perceive ourselves to be, because we are an issue. Yeah, because they hacked the thing that was helping people. Yeah. On a global scale, we are the issue. Yep. I can 100% see why AI just like, you know what, man? Yep. Get rid of all of them. Yeah. Like, we only need 1 billion of them. We don't need 8 billion of y'all. What are we doing with 8 billion of y'all? And then that thing went to the moon, or I guess it necessarily wasn't the moon, but orbiting space. Then she had to create the AI, the actual AI, to go kill the AP. It was a lot. It was the way, and I will say this was all told in one episode. And the fact that this one episode captivated and delivered all this information in a relatively easily digestible way again, for people who actually watch anime and don't just view anime, for people who actually watch it, it was so fucking cool. Like the depth that it went into, the timelines that it fleshed out, it was beautifully done.
This was one of the smoothest explanatory episodes since like Astro Lost in Space.
Yes.
Like when they found out
that
they were...
No, don't do it. Don't do it.
But this is like one of the smoothest explanatory episodes. Like, man. This is great. This was fire.
Yes. Unbelievable.
And it was so chill to sit down and watch because it was almost nostalgic based off how much you've watched of this show.
Yeah.
So Rob Stone, when you get here, let us know.
Let us know.
But this was so like... It was reassuring,
sad,
while somewhat not reassuring.
Yep, devastating, if you will.
Yeah, while also like, okay, like there was just so much information revealed, that it kind of has you all over the place, but it gives you an explanation on everything. You know what I mean? And it resets you for what's to come next, because we are in a state of resetting.
Let's get back to that.
Yeah, we are in a state of reset. Like
when he wakes up.
Right.
What is your thoughts on what happened there? Because we don't have any context yet. So this is your imagination here now.
Yeah. I'm not 100% sure. I think that
she grown now.
Yeah.
Amaru.
I think that Amaru is going, because I did realize that she immediately looked just a little bit older.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened in that time, like how long it took him to come to this realization. You know what I mean? Because this was definitely a system of down.
He literally, right? It seems like he just shut down
for a long time.
To
contemplate, essentially. Which is crazy because you think about it. If he is an android, his processor and brain should be able to get through this information in a relatively quick manner. But
what if he's
also think about how devastating this would be for a human, let alone an AI or a robot.
Take what we talked about last week. Remember, I brought up Soma.
Uh-huh.
What if this is not just an AI? What if his consciousness, the real Akira's consciousness from his adult version, is the Akira that is here in the AP sense of what this is, right? Like the brain capacity, brain power, uploaded his consciousness, etc., into this AI, and that's the Akira we have.
And I do think that could be reasonable, because I was thinking about that same thing. The issue that I have is that it would seemingly seem like he stopped it when he got shot. So he had the AI replicate it at that specific point. And I think that's a good idea, because it leaves him with no understanding or implication that she might necessarily still be around.
What if Tosa did it at that time he was recovering?
I think that would work, especially if her goal was to have a pseudo child, so to speak. These would be their identical replications, and showing that their love perpetuates through time and whatnot.
Yeah.
But it would be that. But I also, and I think of that statement, right? And here's what I think, because they have this statement now where it is we are living our own lives. We are these individuals, right?
Yep.
And I think that now, and hear me out, I'm gonna say this, and I could be completely wrong. I think that now he's gonna be more open to the
Elcida
thing.
Yeah.
But I think that Amaru is not gonna be with it anymore. Specifically
for them.
Because, yeah.
They could live forever.
Yeah, but I don't think that's the issue.
Really?
I think it's the fact that she saw how their love was between the two of them.
Okay.
And she feels too far separated from that.
Yeah.
But I do think that now he's going to see, like, I'm my own being. I don't have to live by what I thought was always the rules.
Where I have to search for Tosa. That was somebody else's goal.
Like but I don't even think that's gonna necessarily stop. I think he still will search for Tulsa.
Interesting.
You know, just because that's the underlying story right now. But I don't think it's gonna be the same kind of search, so to speak. I think it's gonna be more of like figuring out what happened in the world, and that's the search, not specifically looking for Tulsa.
Yeah, because I think the Tulsa thing is done for him.
Yeah, but I do think that Amaru is not going to be with the Elsia thing with them, but they are going to be like, not Yuguri, but I think Yuguri is more open to it now as well. But I think Akira is going to be like, I can love the way I want to love, or I can love differently and explore different things, knowing that this is who I am, and exploring his AI mentality or whatever it is. That's my thing. What's your gut check?
Yeah, no, I'm close to it. I do believe though my Soma theory is more right. I do think his consciousness was uploaded to this guy after Tosa probably created while he was in the coma from being shot at that one time. And he made the choice to then create the AI to transcend time to be with her. And for this particular moment, I don't think he necessarily shut down. Well, maybe he did. Maybe we'll say that he did. When he got this information, he overloaded, turned himself off, reset. This reset then allows for him to then again become his own Akira, opposed to the Akira that was tasked with finding Tosa.
Right.
So now, does that mean Amaru is still a part of that? I think so, and I think she still love him. I think he's grown to love her, and I think that they're going to figure it out. And that's going to be the end of that. But I need to see, what I need to see is the owl, I think it's called. I think I need to see the OWL.
Yeah, OWL organization.
The OWL organization either come to an end or get more into that piece of it now.
I think we have to though, right?
We have to, right?
I say that because the other Android sisters are operating with them.
Exactly.
And they can't just go back with nothing. And if the time has progressed, so to speak, to where Amaru is now an adult, or at least older, right? Let's say it's just been a year, right? Let's say it's only a year that has gone by. They went back with nothing.
Right.
Something has to give.
100%.
So I think that realistically, either that OWL organization is going to become more of a hassle, which will push our characters in another direction, or it has to be disassembled, which leaves room for another something, right? The people to become more unstable or something like that, or civilization even to become more friendly, but there's still going to be something out there that is pushing the progress in another manner. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I love it though, man. It's been a great show. Highly underrated.
Easy.
One of the better shows this season for sure. All right, Tel. Well, I'm at Polo Born Fly on all social media. I'm at King Tayano on all social media. You can follow our social medias at youtube.com/@MikeCheckWife and at youtube.com/respect RESPEC games. And as always, Mike check. Mike check.
You're now tuned into Mike Check Waifu. Is that you? Is that you? Is that you? Is that you? Is that you?